guys, I'm Austin Schneider with RealLogic Sotheby's International Realty.
And I'm JONAS with Cutler Investment Group, a financial advisor here.
And we are going to go through the hows and whys of 20% down.
Austin, why would you want 20% down when you're making a down payment on a new house?
Yeah, good question, because I'm sure you hear a lot about, oh, you don't need 20% XYZ, but there are some advantages of 20% down. There's two main ones, which is, one, you don't have to pay private mortgage insurance, which can add up. It can be a few $100s extra a month to your mortgage. So say you're buying a house for $500,000, you have your mortgage, and then you have your PMI, which is a few $100s on top of that. And even if you're buying a condo, then you have your mortgage, your PMI, and your HOA dues. So it can certainly add up and throw a little whirlwind in there. Second reason why is because if you're in a competitive situation and you have 20% down as a down payment, and say I'm the listing agent and I'm looking at three different offers, one has 20% down, one has 10% down, and one has 5% down, I'm going to feel most secure for my sellers if I take the 20% down, because I know that this person is putting a lot of money down and their finances are strong and their lending could go through, and there's not going to be any hiccups for the deal to close. Not saying that you need 20% down, but it's just something that we look for, and obviously different offers will have different terms that could play factors into that as well. So
Austin, how does somebody save such a big nugget? I mean, we're talking $800,000, 20% down, $160,000.
Yes.
What are some of the ways that they can do to get that cash?
Yeah, $160,000, a lot of money, especially for young adults like myself. Rents are high here. I mean, you want to travel. It's not something that's going to come easy. So I guess the first things first is to start now, save for it, plan for it, start thinking ahead of the curve. If it's a couple-year plan, great. Talk to your financial advisor, set up some savings plans around that so you can do it.
I think there's a saying that's perfect for this, and it's when's the best time to plant the tree?
Totally.
20 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're hearing a lot about parents gifting their kids money to buy their first home because they believe in it, as well as they understand that it's going to be competitive. You've even heard about people or parents taking out home equity lines of credit
on their own homes,
because they have so much pent-up equity that their kids can use that equity to purchase a home, sometimes all equity, all cash, and then the kids pay back their parents after they refinance it. There's even companies out there like Loftium that will actually give you a down payment if you rent out a room for a little bit, and eventually you pay it back through most of the rents. I don't know too much about it. I don't know how well it would work in a competitive situation, especially in Seattle, because I'm pretty sure there's multiple approvals to go through, but there are creative ways. Just, again, got to get creative, teaming up with people. So, yeah.
And I would suggest, simply typing into your Google search engine different ways to come up with assistance, down payment assistance. I know there's lots of programs out there, and it's changed all the time.
Totally.
One of the programs that I'm not a big fan of, and I see that's happening now, is people are tapping into their retirement plans.
Yeah.
So you have your 401k or your traditional IRA or your Roth IRA, and those were set up originally to help you in retirement to live a better life in retirement. And if you tap into them now, that's not why they were created. There can be lots of penalties. There's fees involved. There's all kinds of rules. So if that's the last thing that you have, you can only do that. Please talk with your financial advisor or your CPA. Yes, because it can be a tricky situation.
Yeah, tapping into your future for the now, and then you can be house rich.
Yeah,
which you don't want. But for people that maybe have a bright future ahead of them, or they're close, then it might be something that to discuss with you about.
And that's a good point. What I have found is that the people that have to take a large amount of money out of their 401k, they buy a house and it's more than they can afford.
Yes.
They don't realize how expensive it is.
Yes.
So then, like you said, house rich, cash poor.
Yes.
You got a great looking house, but you can't do anything.
Yes.
So,
well, thanks guys for watching. Happy house hunting.
Yeah, good luck.